Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is David Duncan, who's Vice President of Marketing with Mohawk. We're in Orlando at Mohawk's annual Alligned dealer meeting, and the meeting's called Solutions. The theme of the solution, straight from the heart. David, how you doing?
I am doing great.
Good to be with you. I know you're doing well because you've already gotten the biggest part of your job done. We had opening session this morning. You gave a great 20-minute talk about all the products and programs that you're rolling out. It was also very amusing. You did a little air guitar and joke about being bald. It was a lot of fun.
Well, being bald's really not a joke, but I tried to have fun with it as much as I could. So, yeah, thank you.
A little bit of background. You have this meeting every year. Mohawk always has the first meeting every year, so you kind of get a jump on introducing the new programs and products. Let's talk a little bit about attendance, who comes. Tell us some stats on that, if you would.
Happy to do that. Yeah, you're exactly right. Our Solutions Convention is the first convention of the year. We invite our Floorscapes and Color Center retailers. This year, it's basically second year sold out. We had a few folks, unfortunately, still on the waiting list that couldn't make it down, but we've got basically about 90% of the Floorscapes attendance here. We've got just slightly less than that of the Color Center Elite, and then the balance of Color Center retailers. So it's a good group.
Mm-hmm. And when you talk to them, how is their tone? What are they feeling about business conditions?
Well, I think they're seeing business conditions improve. I think there was a lot of nervousness prior to the election, and business was relatively good. And, on our side of the business, especially for the Mohawk retailers, I mean, we've been having a really good year. Jeff mentioned it this morning that he sees the business starting to improve. You got builder improving. The multifamily business is still strong. You see some of the commercial and Main Street business getting better. Obviously, existing home sales finally are starting to grow. So there's a lot of optimism for sure with the retailers. So it's better this year than it was last year.
Yeah, let me echo something that Jeff Lorber did say in this opening session. He echoed what John Ball had said last week in an interview I did on Floor Daily, that we really are looking at the threshold of 3 or 4 strong years in both the replacement and builder side of the residential market. So most of the retailers should be enthusiastic about where we're headed. So as the head of marketing, I know that you're the coordinating force around the products that you pull together for this meeting and the programs. Take us through a few of the products that you're most excited about that you're introducing to your Alligned dealers.
Okay, I boil it down to 3 key categories. On the soft surface side, there's really 2 major initiatives, and we've done a lot, so I apologize to the product team for not covering everything here, but certainly building on the success of Smart Strand Silk. We are now into our 3rd phase of Smart Strand Silk. We're introducing a new display, 10 new products. It's all built around style and fashion, new yarn system, LCLs, etc. On the wear-dated side of the business, our nylon side of the business, which is probably our biggest news, is our new wear-dated Embrace. We've got 11 styles, again, a distinctive merchandising piece. The product team have done a great job of basically taking what we knew in Smart Strand Silk in terms of how to get soft, taking that knowledge, applying it to the nylon side of the business, positioning it properly in the business, displaying it right. And then on the hard surface side, again, lots of introductions in hardwood, laminate, and ceramic. Probably the big news is the Armor Max featuring Scotch Guard. A lot of new styles. We basically had 1 style prior, now we've got many. It's getting a really good reception, as well as the other items too. But I'd say Smart Strand Silk, Wear Dated Embrace, and Armor Max featuring Scotch Guard are the key items in product.
Yeah, let's focus on carpet for just a minute. Obviously next year is going to be another year where soft is probably the item that's most discussed. And you introduced silk last year. This year, as you mentioned, you've added a lot of fashion to it, a little bit more styling to it. Initially, I think it was a lot of cut pile, probably a lot of traffic marks left in all that soft carpet. And this year, again, as you said, you've got that wear-dated brand, which you bought 4 or 5 years ago. Now you're putting a lot of horsepower with this Embrace. It is nylon 6. You guys are making it. It is soft like silk. You guys have done some testing around its performance, and you're positioning it in the Mohawk whole scheme where silk's on top, then you've got this wear-dated, and below that is your polyester, right?
That's exactly right. And relative to that, if I can talk about the merchandising for a second, because exactly what you communicated there is also one of the big initiatives on the merchandising piece. We've developed a program specifically for our Alligned partners. It's called the Stress-Free Way of Choosing Carpet. We look at the dominant benefit of those fiber systems in polyester and nylon and in Smart Strand. We're the only company that brings basically all 3 of those together. We've developed a system that makes it a very sort of logical trade-up for the customer, the consumer that's coming in. We focus on the dominant benefit of each of those fiber systems, so it's easy for the retailer to understand, the RSA to understand. So not only do we have really the full complement from a product perspective in all three of those categories, we've got a really nice merchandising system to be able to help communicate that to consumers and make it easier for them to say yes.
Okay, so that's products. We've knocked that out. Let's talk a few minutes about a few of the programs that you're most excited about.
We basically talk to our customers here about three key things: the merchandising engagement, digital engagement, and marketing engagement. On the merchandising side, I kind of covered that. That's really the showroom of the floor for Floorscapes and for Color Center. On the digital side, we're really trying to do a much better job of communicating to those consumers who are already having conversations online, right? Understanding what they're talking about, making sure that we're addressing issues, like if they have questions relative to flooring, and we're doing it in multiple ways. It's kind of hard to communicate over the interview, but the bottom line is we're taking all those conversations and we're directing them all back to our retailers. We've got dashboards set up so the retailers can actually see how many times they've been exposed to consumers on the one hand, and number two, how many leads we're actually delivering on the other. So we're doing a lot on that digital space. On the marketing side, probably the big thing is our License to Spill campaign. We partnered with Better TV. They're in 170 markets. They have 5 million viewers each year. They're going to promote SmartStrand and Mohawk 52 weeks a year, basically. And in addition to that, they're taking SmartStrand on the road. So we're going to do 12 city tours in the spring, 6 in the spring and 6 in the fall. So there's a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. All the retailers, not only in those 12 cities, but around the country can participate. So we've got a lot going on the program side of the business here.
Yeah, and just before we run out of time, a lot of people should understand that can't make it here, that you have a full day today, opening session, a lot of Mohawk University sessions. You have a trade show open downstairs. So a lot of that's going on tonight. You're going to Universal Park. They've closed the park just for you, at least a section of it. And this goes on through Saturday, right?
That's exactly right. So we've got at least 2 solid days, 7 a.m. until probably midnight each day. And as fun as Universal's going to be tonight, Friday night, our gala is going to be, the nice thing is, Kemp, and you kind of saw it in our general session, is we always like to have fun with our retailers. We always invite these unexpected surprises. They saw a few of those surprises down in the showroom right now. They're going to see a few tonight, and they're going to see one major surprise on Saturday night. So we're geared up. There's a lot of energy here. The retailers have a lot of energy, a lot of optimism. So we're excited about our program.
It was also exciting this morning. You had Lee Greenwood opening the session with the song "It's Great to Be an American," and that just tied right into the fact that almost all your products are made in America, right?
That's exactly right. And for all of those listeners out there who are our Canadian friends and our international friends, we love those guys too, but there is a real sense of pride in the USA. We have a lot of plants in the USA. We employ a lot of people in the USA. And, the retailers, we really wanted to sort of tie that tapestry of America into that straight from the heart and the passion and everything that we feel when it comes to the flooring side of the business, right? And we just think that we have a lot of it, we need a lot more of it, and it just seemed very appropriate.
Okay, great, David. It's good to talk to you again. Been talking to David Duncan, who's Vice President of Marketing with Mohawk, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.